I'm Darren Karp, and joining me today is the most recent Survivor cast-off, Danny Mccray. Danny, good to see you. I'm sure it's kind of sad under these circumstances. How you holding up?
I'm doing okay. It was rough to see again. I experienced it a while ago, but it's just reliving the experience kind of sucked. But still happy with how I played the game.
I mean, you made it really far. Let's back up a minute. Why did you decide to join Survivor in the first place?
Yeah, so I retired in 2015. I was looking for things to do while all my friends were at work and my wife was at work. And I found Survivor on this streaming service. And I watched like season 15 and I binged it and I never turned it off. And I'm like, you know what? I think I could do that. These people are making crazy mistakes. I think I can go out there and I can be better than them. And then, I was like, all right, well, let's try it. My wife is like, okay, I'm okay with you to go. And I left. That was it.
Wow. I mean, I look at Survivor and I'm like, there's no way I could do any of this. I'm starving. So I give you credit for knowing that you could do it better. And you made it pretty far. Did you do anything in particular to kind of prepare yourself for the show? Any like binge eating or fire making or anything like that?
Yes, I did work on making fire. I bought Flint off Amazon. I made a fire in the garage, and I would usually eat once a day. I'll wake up, I would eat breakfast, and then I would do like my workout twice a day. I'd run, and then I would see how my body reacted to not having as much nutrition as I usually had. And then I would adjust, a little here, a little there, and then just to see if because hangry is a thing, right? So I want to see how hangry I would get based on how much work I actually did. The training was intense, but it worked out. And at that point, we didn't know we weren't getting rice. So
yes, that was kind of the major twist here. Were you surprised at how hangry you could be?
But that's the crazy thing. When I was out there, I wasn't hangry because I was so aware of the fact that if I did get that way, that I would probably get voted off. So I was intentionally focused on the fact that, hey, man, listen, you are hungry. So make sure you watch how you talk, watch your tone, watch how you think about what jokes you laugh at. So I made sure that I was aware of what was going on with my body.
Smart. Were you, you're watching Survivor season 15. You're like, I could do this way better. Were you surprised when you were voted off last week? I mean, did you think that you were really going to make it to the end?
I thought I would make it to the end only if Ricard had lost that immunity challenge. I thought that was really my only shot. I knew that Deshaun had a really close relationship with Eric and Heather. I had Sander, but he was also close with Heather, so they were going to go whichever way that Heather and Erica was going. So I knew that it was a really high possibility that I was going home.
I mean, you said this. Obviously, the target was on Ricard's back, but unfortunately, he had immunity. Do you think the cards would have played out differently, or how do you think the cards would have played out if Ricard had not had the immunity?
I think Ricard was going home if he didn't win immunity. I think they saw that they made the mistake earlier. They wanted to get Liana out just so they could continue to have the numbers. And then once they got her out, they were like, okay, now it's time to get Ricard. But he won, and they had to pivot to little old me.
Little old you. Well, ultimately, the tribal council became a battle between you and Deshaun. It seemed like Deshaun was the one who was instigating the drama going into the council, at least from where I'm sitting. Did you think he was going to go home? I mean, what was kind of going through your mind there with Deshaun?
Maybe like 2% chance after he said what he said. I was like, oh, well, maybe. But like I said, I knew that his relationship with Heather and Erica was stronger than the one that I had with him. And to be honest, I think they liked him more at that point. I also think it was a smart decision for them to take him because I would have been gunning for them anyways.
Well, you and Deshaun had sort of a long-running bromance going on the show, which I love to see. Why do you think you both kind of decided you would be voting for each other this round? What was the straw that broke the camel's back there?
Yeah, so we did have a long-running relationship on the show, but at the end of the day, we both recognized that it was Survivor. And the temptation to say, hey, we're going to throw 2 votes on somebody else. The temptation for that one person to say, hey, you know what, I'm actually going to vote for Deshaun, or for me to say, him to say that about me or me say that about him. And then one of us gets sent home was always there, right? It's a game of Survivor, but ultimate trust does not exist in that game. So we knew that. So we just said, hey, out of respect, we'll just vote for each other to keep all the suspense away from it.